Hey guys, let's go back for another video of guys course. We're doing another video course today. And before I start, I want to say, if you have not checked out the other sets I've done beforehand, I have also done the Christmas tree. I have also done, we did also another kind of, I remember was, oh yeah, we did the gingerbread AT-AT. So definitely check out those things, of course, in a way. I'm going to try to find out whether there's a way I can link them in the description for you guys, of course, if I can be able to. But yeah, today we're doing another cool set, and this will be it for a while. I might get to build a Santa that's coming out. That's already out. Unless, of course, there's a special gift with purchase. But we're doing set number 72046, 421 pieces, close to 500 if you add piece, of course, on there, extra pieces included. And it is the Game Boy, the classic Game Boy set. This box is really kind of unique in a way. Really nice and slim, of course, too. You do have one instruction booklet, of course, too, which is nice. And I like how it has the real one on the back, of course, too, kind of from the old days. And I do want to say before we go on any further that this thing, you're going to be surprised how size accurate it is compared to a real one, because I was actually watching other viewers, of course, too, and looking at myself, and it is actually really neat and size comparison. All right, let's show you a look at this Game Boy and talk about it afterwards. All right, so here look at the Game Boy, and before we start, we're going to show you some of the interesting stuff we have. Is one of the game cartridges on here, and also you know in the back, of course, too. We're going to show you in the back here, of course, too. You do have one for Mario, and also one for Zelda. And pretty cool that we have these two on here, of course, too. They're a little bit different, of course. I would take the things off here to show you how they are different looking with the battery inside, but it's, one-hand reviews, guys, are not easy to do, like I always say. But we're gonna show you all the cartridges, of course, though. And you can see here's for Zelda. I do like that these are red. I like the sticker art. It looks like the original one from back in the day, of course, too, which is really nice in a way. And you can also put one of these on here, like this little stand, of course, too, lock in place, like so. And it locks in place like that. You also have extra little screens too, of course, you can see here. This looks like it's for Super Mario right there. And you can see Mario basically is a little bit of jumping animation, which is nice and all. This is from the old one. You also have one from, looks like the original, looks like Zelda, of course, I'm not sure, but not much going on there, of course, in a way, there's some of the birds flying around. But my favorite one has to be the one that you're gonna see on the screen of the Nintendo itself. Also, before we go any further, guys, too, if you wanna get a game, you can actually take this off in the back here, of course, or if you want to, just do like you used to back in the day. And so there you go, slide it in place. And also I want to show you guys too here is there's like the little stand here. You can see that also you can put it on here too to hold on there, which is going to be really fun in a way. You also hear the back, of course, too, like this is like the part like the little speaker system, of course, in a way in the back in the day with the batteries, where how batteries would go to. And you see here part of like an earphone jack, of course, probably looks like this is probably for contrast, of course, back in the day when you could focus on the screen, of course. I like how that was also really neat. Also, another side of the Game Boy too, you see for also the volume, of course, it also moves the same way too. It's a little hard to move it with my one hand, guys. You also there's like a EXT connector, so probably to connect more like a headphones thing, of course, here. Also this thing is also coming a little bit on loose here, but that's another thing. This is like when you would turn the system on or off and all. So here's where it's on, and there's where it's turned off, which is also unique. The controls, I do like how these are also too, that you also have a start and select, of course, too. So you can start the game back like it did back in the day. The controllers, I do want to say how they are, but I also like the stickers too for a second too. This is also not a sticker, this is printed, of course. There's also like this for headphones right here, but this is actually where you put this on here to fit it on like there. But and here's the buttons, of course, too. The buttons actually work really well. So it's really kind of unique how the arrow thing is a little bit more different in a way. I can see why people wanted a different style, but you can't, but it's not bad. I mean, it's kind of just interesting how it's size comparison in a way. The screen, you can see the screen, of course, too, guys. As you can see, if you can see the screen moving up and down, that's really kind of cool. I like that a lot, though. It gives the effects that it's like booting up or something, a horse in a way, and it's really nice. If you want to put it back on for display, of course, you just put it on here like so, and you can display it like that. And also, if you want to, as a way too, you also with this here too, you can put little screen things that you have right here. These. You put these little things right here, that you have two of these, and you can put them into there, and they will fit, and there we go. And here's this little thing here too, you can put this on here to lock in place, and it fits on there like so. The battery is a little different how it was, guys, but like I said, one-handed reviews are not easy to do, but I would take off to show you the different kind of design of the batteries, how they look back in the day, but pretty neat way. But the Game Boy, I can say with all respect, is really size accurate. It is really unique in a way. I like how it looks almost one-to-one scale, people are saying. And this is the one I actually wanted to go for compared to the other ones because, well, this is going to fit really well on my shelf in a way. And it's also really iconic, collectible. a kind of iconic gaming console that people grew up like myself in the late 80s, beginning 90s, which is very cool. But there is the old Game Boy. All right, for today you guys saw a close-up of the Game Boy, and I also want to show you guys something a little cool because I didn't do it on screen here, of course, is before, if you wanted to basically take off the screen, of course, too, you see the back of your course on it, and this is something I want to do for you guys because it's something I'm trying out now, is you take off the little back part of this here, and you'll take a screen out, you have to basically let this little screen pop out, and if you want to put in a new screen, of course, too, you can put in, let's say, we're going to put in, let's put in the old Mario kind, because this is a Super Nintendo Mario. You put it in here like so, you lock this thing back in place, and then you put this thing on here like so too, and then you basically can put in your cartridge like you back in the day, of course. Now, I gotta say that some people made a joke and they said, do you blow in these like the old Super Nintendos? Like, you know, no, it's not like that. Of course, many people would, if you probably are like me, of course, you probably know that's what we used to do back in the day to clean out your games, of course, because there's a lot of dust. You put it back in here like so, and if you want to, then you take off the same thing again on the same process. You think you would take off the whole back of it, of course, and you just repeat the whole process again if you want to. And we're gonna put back in the old Nintendo logo, of course, which is, you know, not a cool little thing, a really interesting little cool little detail. And I like how this is really kind of unique and really built, though. And one thing I will say as I'm putting this back on for you guys is this thing is really size accurate, 1-to-1 scale compared to an old one. Again, here's the old one on the instruction booklet, of course, too. I actually used to have one growing up as a kid in the 80s and 90s, of course, back in the day. And this is really kind of unique in a way. I can definitely see people doing these in mocks, of course, and conventions that I always go to, making the color versions of these, of course. But the original Game Boy is what started it all. This is probably, if I had to guess, back in my day when I was a kid, this is probably what every kid wanted, of course, for a while, of course, and it was a popular seller. And it was basically top of the line back in the day, too. And to get something now in the Lego version, I'm so glad Lego actually did this because sure, the Super Nintendo set we got, that was pretty cool. That was not really like a scale 1-to-1 comparison. We also got a gift with purchase a Sega Genesis controller, which I hope we get a Sega Genesis one day from Lego as well. We also got an Atari system, which kind of was a little bit the same size, a little medium sized. And I think we got another one, I'm not sure what it was. But like I'm saying, this right here, compared to all the other ones though, is size comparison, size accurate. And I was surprised about that. And it's really nice and small too, not too big, not too medium, not too large, not too small. It's basically just right, and I'm gonna put it in a good spot on my shelf because it's gonna fit in a good little spot, of course. And this little game cartridge, of course, you see how this has on here too. I like how you put your little games on there too. Kind of, you know, back in the day, what people would do with their old games, of course. I'm not sure. Most people have cartridges, of course. Some people were saying if we were gonna get Pokemon for this, we could have got Pokemon cartridges, but probably with the licensing rights that are going on now with Lego starting to do Pokemon next year, it's because I think Pokemon is not officially owned by Nintendo. It's a license, I think, of course, like the same thing, like, because for those of you who don't know too, Nintendo and Sega were like PlayStation, Xbox. It's kind of like that's, you know, you gotta be careful how you mix the two together. And I think that's kind of the issue that they're facing right now, of course. But if you're a gamer guy, a retro person like myself, who grew up in the 80s, 90s playing these type of games, you're gonna wanna go for this, of course. It's definitely one of my favorites, of course. I really do like it a lot. And I do have to say, I like how it's 1-to-1 size comparison. I wish I had an original one, of course, to show you guys, but some reviewers don't have their original old Game Boys. They still work. I mean, I'm surprised that some people that actually have one of these, the real one, of course, would still work nowadays because most of the time I've seen some people that have the screens are cracked or broken, of course. The controllers are all broken. And some of these things don't work anymore, but it's iconic in a way and also really fun. I have been to some retro gaming stores that do sell these for a high price because they are really sought after, the original ones, but the Lego version I think is gonna be pretty cool too. Now, here's the big thing I wanna ask, and I have people already asked me this, my parents already asked me this too, is, are they gonna be able to motorize this, of course, or basically to make it work like a real one? To be honest, I'm gonna say it carefully here. You would have to make this thing a little bit larger. You'd also have to find a way to put some kind of electronic bricks in there. And that would be too much because I'm just gonna say it's nicely here. If you're gonna try to make this activated like a real one, of course, you're gonna have a lot of modifications going on, a lot of pieces to take out of this whole system. And I would just leave it like it is. It's the screens, how Lego did that. I think they did a great job how they did that. It's a great little feature. I like the buttons, how they got the buttons. There's a little rubber band thing inside there too. I also started to take off the controllers too, guys, to show you different things, of course. But apparently you have to take off both of these, of course, so I didn't want to take them both off because well, the whole thing will fall apart then, and that's what holds the whole set together. Those little pieces, of course, and the little side things on here too, the little sides, of course, and top little flat tiles. But like I did say, I do not mind it's like a display piece, of course, and it's also like iconic. The box is also pretty cool too. I think the box would probably be what you would get original Game Boy back in the day too. A little bit of all wiring, of course, in a way to probably charge it up, of course, and all that. And it's really nice. But to motorize, to basically power function this and make it work like a real one, you're gonna have a lot of problems trying to put all this stuff into this to make it work like that. And I'm just saying that if anyone buys this, don't do that. It's going to ruin the system. It's going to ruin the set, of course, excuse me. And you're not going to basically have a good set anymore. It's going to be bulkier and more bigger and more clankier. And it's not going to look like the original size. I would just leave it like it is. But definitely if you are a gamer guy like myself who grew up in the 80s, 90s, probably 70s, of course, too. Many people have probably had the set. Probably, I don't know. I just think the set came out in the late 80s, 90s, of course. I don't think it came out in the 70s. It probably did. I could be wrong. But if you have this set, if you had this Game Boy, let me know if you had it. And do you guys have fond memories about playing this, of course? I know, like I said, Lego may do a Game Boy Color, of course. I don't know which kind they're going to do. They may do one for the Pokemon review sets, of course, but we'll have to wait and see. But I like this for a lot of reasons because it is definitely one of my favorites. I was holding off on buying it for a while, but I told you guys I was going to go for it, and I did go for it because the reason I wanted to, because it is definitely nostalgia for me on this all cool little set. All right, so there you guys have it, though, guys. Like I said, I am going to try to go for the buildable Santa. The upscaled Santa figure when I have a gift with purchase option to buy that, of course, in a way. Also, too, guys, if you have not checked out, I have done the family Christmas tree. I've also done, I also did another set, of course, I'm forgetting what it was again. I did the Lego AT-AT, of course, too. We also did the Halloween ghost that light up, of course, in a way. That was pretty cool for Halloween, which is kind of funny that we did some Christmas stuff reviews, of course, and then we're now, it's not close to Christmas, and Christmas sets came out. And we're now doing a non-set that's non-themed from any of the holidays, which is kind of okay. But also, too, guys, I want to say it's nicer, too. This will definitely make a great Christmas present if you come in a couple months. For anyone who's an old gamer, definitely for someone that likes old Lego sets, of course. Who's a nostalgical gamer and Lego, and of course, I can see it's being a good Christmas gift. So definitely, if you guys are looking for a good Christmas present, get it for someone that will like this, even if you're not a Lego fan. Anyway, guys, thank you, though, for watching today on this channel. Like I said, we are doing more stuff coming out soon. I'll see what happens in the next few days, of course, too, and other weeks, of course. I'm still in the process of looking for a new job, so hope that will be okay. So when I do get a job, guys, that might change when I'm doing a lot of uploads, but I'll still try to do stuff for you guys in the future, and we'll do some more stuff overall in general for you guys. Hopefully keep this channel active, and I'll try to basically, my brother, he's now moved out, but I'll try to ask him if he can help me out with some linking videos and descriptions for you guys, of course, too, or other things like that, and changing my intro and all, because I need to work on that, of course, too. And I'm trying to make this channel grow. And I know the analytics are not out there. A lot of people are not watching a lot of videos, but please just try to give them if you like, if you watch, if you can. Maybe give them a like, too, if you like them, of course. And also just try to let me know what you guys think and what you don't like about the videos. Just letting you guys know. If you like the videos, give a like. If not, you can always give a dislike. I don't think they do anymore. But also just make sure you like and subscribe as always. And keep on watching the videos when you can. All right, guys, thank you for watching today. I hope you have the rest of your Tuesday today. As you see behind me, it does look like it's going to rain outside. I hope that many of you guys are being safe out there. And just being safe out overall, guys. But thank you, though, for watching. I'll see you guys hopefully next time.